Welcome to Organ India's podcast, New Beginnings, where we bring to life stories of experiences faced by organ donors and recipients to bring awareness about organ donation. In today's episode, we'll be sharing the story about Brigadier Yash Pal Bakshi, who was one of the first to enter Bangladesh during the war. A proud army man who survived 2 wars, but in an instant everything changed. While enjoying his retirement in Meerut, one day he was brutally attacked by his household staff for refusing to give him his money and belongings. He tried to defend himself and fought with them but was shot in the head during the attack. Later on, he was admitted to a hospital but unfortunately was declared brain dead. This is the story about his daughter, Mrs. Kamini Mehta, who had to make the tough decision of donating her father's organs and eventually helping save 8 lives from the organs donated by her father. So to help us tell his story better, we're joined by Brigadier Bakshi's daughter, Mrs. Kamini Mehta. Welcome, Mrs. Mehta. I know this story is not that easy to talk about, as each time you remember him, his memories may still come back fresh in your head. But I and everyone else listening would love to hear the story about what your father was like and get to know what actually happened to him.
He was the first one to enter Bangladesh with his brigade. His jeep that he was traveling in was bombarded a lot of times. It had a lot of bullet marks on it, but he was very lucky to pull through that and come back to us after the ceasefire happened. Then he retired in the year 1984 and settled down in Meerut.
Sounds like he lived quite a life. So, what is the incident that happened to him?
On the 4th of January 2008, we got a call from Meerut, from the neighbors, that he had been shot and he had been rushed to the hospital. Dad was brought to RR and all the tests were done, and then he was kept in the ICU. He was on the life support system. By then he was brain dead.
That is insane. How those robbers showed no remorse for their actions and all they cared about was their own personal gain and were willing to do anything for it. What they didn't realize was that the price they agreed would lead to the death of an incredible army man who had served the country proud. It's genuinely sickening to think that such people exist, and that greed just blinds people into doing unimaginable things. Anyways, ma'am, can you please tell me how you came to the conclusion to donate his organs? Because I can imagine it must have been an incredibly tough decision to make.
My husband, he just happened to mention, he says, suppose we can't save him, would you consider donating his organs? There was no point in torturing him any further because he was going to be like that forever. That is when we took the decision to donate the organs. That is one moment of my life that I will never forget, because the minute I said a yes to the doctor, it was as though the ICU had come alive. It was as though, life had been given to people lying over there who had no hope to live. 8 people who got life through him. 2 little newborn babies were given his heart valves.
Wow.
So that's what I feel, that he's still around. He's still there with us. He hasn't left us. There can be nothing more noble than donating organs to people who need them to live on.
So true. I feel that Brigadier Bakshi, even in his final moments, ended up doing something noble. It really shows in the character of a person that throughout his life, he helped someone. And the fact that his organs helped save 8 lives really shows what the power of persevering through the tough decision to donate organs can do. Mrs. Mehta, to wrap up this podcast, I'd just like to say thank you for being a part of this show. And again, thank you for donating the organs of your father, which helped save so many lives. I hope the people listening have gained some value from this podcast and hopefully enjoyed this episode as well. We have many more such episodes lined up for you guys, so stay tuned and take care. Also, if anyone listening has questions or suggestions about the podcast, please feel free to connect with us on Facebook and Instagram, or mail us at info@organindia.org, or call us on our toll-free helpline number at 1800 120 3648.